In this video, I plan on showing you 4 new innovative twists on beekeeping equipment that have stagnated in design and were due for a makeover. They say, build a better mousetrap and the world will beat a path to your door. That quote is a metaphor about the power of innovation. And innovation is what I'm about to show you in these 4 new products. Specifically, we'll be looking at the top cover, inner cover, bottom board, and lastly, one mystery piece of equipment that far too many people don't even know about until it's too late. Links to all of these items will be in the description below. Let's start with the 2 typical top covers you see in apiaries today. The telescoping top cover and the migratory top cover. Both serve their purpose perfectly well. However, they've not changed much since the early 1900s. What we typically call the telescoping top cover was initially being sold in 1906 and has not changed much since then. The migratory cover, initially called the flat cover, was being sold in the 1850s and has not changed much since then also. Now I can already hear the comments from the back in my days about how these are perfect and there's no need to go changing them. Well, sit back, Grandpa, because you're about to see how just a little bit of change in design can make these products new again. Which leads me to the ultimate hive cover. This is a clean, contemporary design, and it's the only hive cover you're ever going to need because it's never going to rot. Other great features this provides over its contemporary counterpart are things such as light-covered and double-walled constructions, keeps the hive warmer in winter and cooler in the summer. Internal risers provide passive ventilation while preventing robbing. It can be slid forward or backward to either open or block any inner cover openings. This also fits both 8 and 10 frame hive equally well. This item is going to last way longer than wood, never needs painting, and is maintenance free. Also, another side benefit is it's made in the United States of America and made from recycled material. The next oldie that gets a makeover is the inner cover, which also has basically remained the same since about 1906. The ultimate insulated inner cover provides an exciting new twist on the traditional inner cover, adding a ton of functionality to this piece of beekeeping equipment. Some of the great values are R10 insulation, it will never rot, no painting needed and no maintenance, just like the top cover, fits both 8 and 10 frame hives right out of the box, no modifications needed. You don't have to order separate ones. Reduces energy demand by making climate control of the hive much easier. This means less bees are left fanning and bearding, which equals more productivity. The insulation is accomplished through this thick styrofoam here on top, approximately, I'd say 2 inches thick, gives it an R10 value. It can be configured to have a top entrance or no top entrance. And the way that you do that, you see right here, is the top entrance hole. If you remove the insulation, on this side, you'll see there's the inner cover hole, vent hole, and there's a pathway to the inner cover entrance right here. So if you put it in this way with the pathway to the built-in inner cover hole, you have a top exit and entrance. However, if you flip it around, to where the tunnel is toward the back, there's no longer a top entrance or exit. So this can be situated for people who need a top entrance or who don't like having top entrances. Another interesting feature that this provides is right here, and I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but there's a slight indentation, which is for your hive tool to make prying the inner cover up off of your hive even easier. It gives you a little access point to break the seal so that you don't have to pry as hard. It's on all 4 corners. But one of the coolest features that I'm really excited about this piece of equipment is the storage function that this has. It has, if you decide to use the center vent, it has a storage spot for the vent cap so that you don't lose this. It also has storage for your entrance reducers right here built in, so that if you don't want to use them, you can put them right here. And then it also has storage for the robbing screen, which goes right in here like this. Goes right in here. And this allows you to, whenever the parts aren't being used, you have a very convenient place to store them so that they don't get separated from the hive. You don't have to go searching your honey house for the missing parts. They don't get dropped in the yard, etc. They're all conveniently kept right in one place. Now you notice mentioned the robbing screen storage. We'll hang around to the end of the video so I can tell you a little bit about that, because this could literally save your hive. And the way you do that is, so if you put it in this way with the pathway to the built-in the next piece of equipment that got a new twist put on it is the bottom board. Meet the reimagined version, the ultimate bottom board. This is the most versatile, user-friendly, and easy to use bottom board on the market, in my opinion. Again, it's made out of the same tough technopolymer with no PBA, so it never rots, never needs painting, and never needs any maintenance. It's virtually indestructible. It fits both 8 and 10 frame hives. For 8 frame, you do have to make sure you select to get the adapter though on this one. The top and the inner cover you don't need an adapter for, but for the bottom board, if you want it for 8 frame, you do need an adapter that comes with it, same price. And then if you get the 8 frame adapter, you can then use it on both 10 or 8 frame, depending on what your needs are. The screen bottom board has an embedded stainless steel mesh with a slide out for inspection, so you can keep the screened area open or closed. Also, you'll notice on the sides, it has these notches right here. And that's for your hive strap, so that you can strap your hive down and keep it secured in situations of high wind, weather. It also has these security pins. The camera might not be able to pick it up, but there's little knobs here. And what those do is those fit into the inside corners of your 8 or 10 frame box. And it basically keeps your box centered and prevents it from sliding off of the bottom board. It has an integrated and removable entrance reducer. So it comes in 3 parts. You actually get 4, I guess, in case you lose one. But it's 3 parts. And as you can see, it's has B-sized entrances on the bottom and then flat on the top. So let's say you wanted to have your hive entrance completely open. You could put them all with the B entrances to the bottom. And you would have a completely open hive, but it would be a little easier to defend because they are B-size entrances. Now let's say you wanted to reduce its dearth. There's no nectar sources out there you're worried about robbing. One way you can help do that is you can just reverse them. And now these two are closed and only that one's open. So you have a way where you can have 2 open and 1 closed, however you want to do that. It also serves as a mouse guard, although mice can probably chew through this. Also, this bottom board, again, made in the United States out of recycled material. Now, I've saved my favorite beekeeping innovation for the very last. But before we get into that, if you would do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the like button.
Whoa, that's one ginormous like!
Really helps the YouTube algorithm and helps me continue to produce content to help you. Okay, so this last piece of equipment, my favorite. Most new beekeepers only find out they need it until it's too late. And by then, a lot of times, there are few hives that they spent all year taking care of and preparing for and everything ends up getting robbed out, destroyed, and they have to start all over next year. Every year when summer dearths start up like we're in now, if you're on Facebook or any sort of social media associated with beekeeping, you're going to see post after post of people sending videos or photos of masses of dead bees in front of their hives, or videos of just bees swarming all over their hive, and they're wanting to know what's happening and how they can stop it. Well, you're in the middle of a robbing spree. For new beekeepers out there, robbing is when a stronger hive or hives find a weaker hive and decide to steal all of its resources by force. This is typically characterized by massive amounts of activity in front of the hive at all entrances, and especially at cracks and crevices, wads of bees mounding up and falling to the ground as if they're fighting, large amounts of bees dead on the ground in front of the hive, and a lot of times you'll see debris. You'll see wax debris, yellow, brownish debris all along the front entrance, which is wax cappings from the bees going in, opening up the honey stores and coming out. So once robbing starts, it's really hard to stop. It's much easier to prevent it beforehand than stop it afterwards. A lot of times you can't stop it, and by the only time it stops is once that hive is dead. Also, once robbing starts in one hive, it can also lead to a chain reaction of robbing, where the next hive gets hit and then the next hive gets hit. So it's critical that you be proactive about robbing, and during summer dearths, reduce your entrances down, and if you're smart, get a product like this, the Ultimate Robbing Screen. It can be used proactively and installed just before the dearth starts in your area, or it can be used as an emergency tool to stop robbing after it's already started. It's made from the same UV resistant technopolymer that's durable, never rots, never needs to be painted, and is maintenance free, just as the previous items. It's universal. It fits both 8 and 10 frame hives. It has easy swing doors that can be opened and closed, and one can be open one day and then closed and then the other one opened. Or if the robbing is actively going on right then, close them both up, and it still has ventilation right here so that your hive can get air through both the front and the screen bottom board, but no bees can come or go. And this will help slow that robbing down if you shut them off initially. Now, these swing doors here, if you see, they're large enough to where several bees can come and go, but your robbers are not going to find these holes because robbers are going by scent. So they're going to be trying to get in through here. Meanwhile, your foragers are going to learn pretty quickly to just come and go from this top entrance, which not as much scent is coming from, so the robbers can't figure it out. Then, if to be proactive, what you can do is every day alternate entrances. Again, your foragers will learn where the new entrance exit is, but your robbing bees will not know. The ventilation holes all along here keep the odors low and robbers away from the door. You have 2 doors, so you can configure it completely closed, one open, or both open. If you're not having any robbing and you just want to have this on proactively, you can open up both. That way there's a pretty good amount of entrance and exit, so it doesn't slow your hive down too much. But if robbing were to start, they wouldn't come to these holes, they would come here, and you prevent robbing from even getting started. So how do you use this on the hive? Well, what you do is, if you have your hive entrance reducers on, you remove those, and this can be used for any hive. Then you just put it right here. Comes with pins conveniently stored along the top, and you just press them into the wood. And you do that all the way around. I'm not pressing them all the way in, but you get the idea. And it holds it to the hive, and then the bees just come and go from here. Now, I will say, if you're using all mediums, you do have to worry about the hand grip being a potential entrance. So if you're putting this robbing screen on, I suggest you block that. But if you're putting it on a deep, the hand grip is actually up here, and it's not an issue. And then once you're done with your robbing screen, just lift up your inner cover, put it in its storage area and then you can either put these back on, or if you're not using them at all, you can put them in the top also. Now, if you want to know what these handles are, or this item on this back corner is, I have another video on that also. Now, if you think these innovations are interesting, you should check out my other video titled 5 Innovative Beekeeping Tools Every Beekeeper Needs, and a cool video I did of this year's North American Honey Bee Expo, where I interviewed 24 vendors about their products and inventions such as these.